Hello friends, I'm Reverend Rick Beatty. I'm the Senior Minister here at Unity of Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan, and it is an honor always to be one of the team who brings you these meditations or midweek connections, I call them sometimes. And this is the first of the new year, so a Happy New Year to you. And I'm going to share with you a reading from Daily Word, and Daily Word I do so with permission of Unity, the publishers of Daily Word. And by the way, this 2024 is the 100th anniversary year of the publication of Daily Word. We've been putting this booklet out for 100 years from Unity World Headquarters, and it's one of that and Silent Unity, one of the things that people don't really often connect with us in the Unity movement, but we publish both. They were important and are still important. It's one of the reasons why I support the work at Unity World Headquarters, in addition to my supporting what we do here at Unity of Royal Oak. Unity World Headquarters has the ability to publish and reach out on a broad, huge scale, and it's amazing. It's quite amazing what they do. So I'm sharing with you the reading for today. If you don't get Daily Word, I would encourage you to try it. dailyword.com is their website. You can get a digital version, which I get. We get a number of copies here at the church, and one of them I put in my office, but I get it digitally, so that means I get it in email, and I can also get it in the Be Unity app, which is a really cool thing, and you can submit prayers there, and you can have someone read you Daily Word there, so it's great for someone who's maybe got a vision impairment. Anyway, very inexpensive. It's a wonderful way to start the day. All right, there's my pitch for Daily Word. All right, today the key word is create for January 3rd, 2024. Oh, and I'm wearing people call it a Christmas sweater, but I call it a winter sweater because I'm hopeful. We have had days of cold, rainy weather and gray. I would much rather have snowy and sunny than rain and gray and cold. So I'm putting out there, my intention is that we have a white something or other this month. Create is the theme. I am a joyous creative being is the affirmation. So I affirm that I am a joyous and creative being. One of the best ways to feel the presence of God is through my drive to create. As a spiritual being, I am endowed with many wonderful divine gifts as well as unique talents and interests. The way I use those gifts and direct my talents is up to me. Do you get that? So you have skills and talents. How you use them is up to you. You've been given a gift. We are all gifted, and we are not all gifted the same. I don't expect everybody to be a public speaker, and there are many who are better than I am. But that's my gift, one of them. One of my gifts is the ability to look at the biggest picture and to discern where I believe that God is speaking to me. There's little that I've learned to do in my life that's more important to my life as a man and as a pastor than that, to be able to look at the big picture. So the ways I use those gifts and direct my talents is up to me. They're there. It's like having a bean planted. Martha Creek says you can't grow a bean plant by pulling on it. You can't force it. It comes in its own time. And I'm very mindful of the fact that I first felt called to ministry at 19 years of age. I didn't become actively a minister until 22 years ago. So I'm 68 now. I was 56 back then. Or no. You do the math. I'm not a math person. 68, 58, 48, 49, 50. I was 50 years old. Or thereabouts, 52, when I first really got into ministry. So going back to the reading, at the start of a new year, my thoughts turn to what I might like to create as the months unfold. All of us are thinking about what do we want to do in this year? What do we want to accomplish? What do we want to experience? I think more in terms of experiences now than gathering up more possessions. I've been getting rid of things selectively, but starting that process. I use my imagination, wisdom, and will to find where to begin. Otherwise, it's overwhelming. I'd like some things to be different. Where do I start? You start with this thought. You start with this breath. You start with this moment. And ask. Trust and know that there is within you wisdom, the wisdom of the ages. And that which we call God hears you, not so much the words you're thinking, but the vibration you're holding. Think about it on the huge scale of vibration, the energy you hold about something. No matter what I choose, I will bring my whole heart to it. Why would you bother with something if you're only half-hearted? You got to be all in. The scripture says, let your yea be yea and your no be no. Yes, yes, or no, no. Do it or don't. It's up to you. No matter what I choose, I will bring my whole heart to it. I will feel the power and love of God flow through the thoughts of my mind and the work of my hands. I love that question or that statement when I read it earlier today, this morning. I will feel the power and love of God flow through the thoughts of my mind and the work of my hands. Just breathe into that for a moment. Think about it. Through the thoughts of your mind and the work of your hands. When I think of work of hands, it makes me think of my grandma Ledger, and she would bake a lot. Meat pies and pasties and cake and cookies and all kinds of stuff. And she always seemed to be so happy with it. And she was a little short woman, just under 5 feet tall, just under 100 pounds, from Upper Michigan, the UP. This sweater makes me think of my grandmother, because the big pine trees and the deer and the elk up there, amazingly majestic. Yes, I unabashedly love Michigan. I've lived in California twice. I love Michigan. Through my creative impulses, I will embark upon the new year by sharing the presence of God. This is how I will make my mark upon the world as only I can. So what does that mean, to share the presence of God? It's evolved for me over the years. It's many things. It's the ways I show up to serve other people. Some of my gifts are unique to being a minister. I'm good at memorial services and funerals and weddings. I do those things well. I love to be the ringleader of a community here. Chief community officer, sometimes is what I call myself. Because I can only take care of so many people, but if I help teach and encourage others, then we multiply the effectiveness. The Bible verse for today is one of my favorites, from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, is my preferred version, but it says the same thing. So I'm a joyous creative being. So how do you show God to other people? The way you hold the energy you hold them with, your willingness to see them happy and whole, your friendliness, opening the door for someone whose arms are full of packages, helping with those packages. It doesn't take a lot. Being a loving human being doesn't take a lot of money. It takes the ability to be fully present to another person. And unfortunately, my friends, it seems to me that we are going through a time where we're less present to ourselves and to other people. We're less fully focused there, because there's so much going on in our lives. The awful news, the good news, another strain of COVID, another vaccine for COVID. I mean, our minds, it's hard to differentiate these things, so we get a little bit lost in them. So that's why we meditate. At least that's why I meditate. I'm going to start some music. Today I'm using The Heart of Oneness by Gregory Barrette, because it's handy to me to sound on my phone, and I can cast it from my phone to a speaker in my office, and then to record it for you. So we're going to begin this time of meditation by taking 3 deep cleansing breaths. We're going to breathe in, hold it, sigh it out. Breathing in, hold it, sigh it out. One more deep breath in, hold it, sigh it out. And now let your breathing just return to its normal cadence, its normal rhythm. And I invite you to begin a scan of your body. We don't pay a lot of attention to our bodies, we pay a lot of attention to our spirits. Certainly we pay a lot of attention to our thinking, to our brains, to the intellect. But what about this body temple that carries us around and holds us around and allows us to live on this planet? Scan your body for any sign of tension or stress. And if you notice some, just pause there a moment and invite it to leave. And notice the support that is in this moment for you. Perhaps you are seated, as I am, in a chair. You might be lying on a yoga mat, or lying on the sofa, or sitting in your recliner. Or maybe you have an adjustable bed. I just bought one a few days ago, and I'm loving it. It's a great place to meditate, to get comfortable for a few minutes, and I can actually read in the bed. But wherever you are right now, let it support you. Feel the support here for you. As we spend a few moments now turning away from the outer world. And by the way, if you hear any noise, an ambulance could go by here. One just did a few minutes ago. I always say a blessing for what's going on there, the drivers and the people. Any noise disturb you, let it just be a reminder to turn within. So I'm going to increase the music a little bit and decrease my yapping a little bit. And let's spend a little time together in the stillness of the silence. And while we remain in this meditative state, we're going to have a prayer for the world and for each other. And I invite you to begin by calling to mind any issue that you're dealing with. Lots of people reach out different kinds of things, needing some support emotionally, needing some support financially, many things. What I know for sure is that God is the answer to all of those questions, because God is the underlying energy of life itself. So think about your dear one. Think about yourself. Do you have a doctor's appointment coming up that's concerning you? I just spoke with a person today on the phone who was aware that they were having a stroke and happened to have a emergency button pendant that they wore and pressed it just in time and was taken to the hospital and had life-saving surgery. So there's support for us. Think about you, the people you know, your family, your friends. Now think about your town, your city, your county, your state, your country. All of these things. Father, Mother, and everything, God, we give thanks for your life that shines itself through us, that shows up as us, that brings us an energy that's wonderful to share with other people. Thank you, God, for the peace that passes understanding, which is possible when we stop putting our attention on the reason for the war and put our energy on the reason for peace. And the reason for peace is because we are all sisters and brothers. As A Course in Miracles said, there's only one Son of God, and we are all it. So we allow our lives to bear witness to this truth for ourselves and for other people. And we never withhold the gift of presence, of a smile, of connecting eye to eye and heart to heart, and being with one another in this time that's got so many polar opposites happening all at once. We know that this is the time that we were born to live in. So be it, and so it is. I'd love to hear from you. Our website is unityofroyaloak.org. My email address is ric@unityofroyaloak.org. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your participation and your presence in the many things we do. Check out our website. Until then, remember that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Namaste.